Hi everyone, welcome to another Greenleaf Terrain Showcase. This time I have a set that is going to Ash at Tabletop Co-op, and it was donated through his Indiegogo campaign by ZB, who actually donated some money to me when my Indiegogo campaign failed and he found out about it, so he's actually a very generous person, so thank you to ZB. This set actually includes two larger ruins, but a order came with all the paints that I needed to finish this set, and the plastic card that came was way too small. I need to return it and get the larger size, so those ruins will be finished and sent to Ash. Well, they'll be sent to Ash when they're done. And there's also two more pieces. There are two pawns, but for some reason with the humidity or something, the resin isn't setting for me, so we're going to wait a few days and see what's up with that. But eventually he'll get the pawns too. So there are two large ruins and two pawns missing from the set, but otherwise everything else is here. So there are a couple things that you can't see because I can never really seem to get everything on frame. I need to build a better showcase spot, but for now this is where I do it. And so off camera there's actually two hills. There is a open forest stand, and then coming this way there are two forest stands that are kind of post-apocalyptic, kind of regrowing themselves. And then inside of them I gave him some of my casted walls. So there's 4 casted walls, some of the ruined ones and one of the solid ones. Other thing I added to the set are 3 small wall sections, and then there are 4 smaller type ruins. They're kind of just larger corners, or medium-sized corners. Way off to the far right there, you can see one in the back there. There are 2 same kind of scheme hills, and then there are 7 of these planters. Some of them are this rectangle shape, some of them are this square shape, and 3 of them are autumn version, and a couple of them, I guess there's 4 of them, are green versions. So I will jump the camera off the tripod and we will check everything out a little bit closer. So starting in this corner here, we got these hills. They're pretty simple. They've got some same color scheme going on, a little bit of dry brushing like everything else. It's got dry brushed. And then these guys are little planters. They all got trees in them, then they got some foliage growing out them, different versions. And let's move that guy up there. We have 3 of these just little simple walls, just to give it a couple extra pieces of terrain. They weren't in the actual commission. They were extra pieces that I threw in. And so this was to match a set that I built before. It was a Fallout type of terrain, so it's a lot more burning and stuff on the edges and whatnot. I have some ladders accessing this broken guy there. I have some 40K propaganda posters in this one. Actually, they're all over this set, but there's a broken staircase and pieces of the staircase there. Nice hole for line of sight out that side. You obviously have all the windows for line of sight, and you can walk out on that balcony and there's a keep calm and carry on. And let's move that guy out of the way there. So you can see we got a bunch of color. If you get down here, this blocks line of sight really well. A miniature probably stands just head height a little bit over there. They're a little bit over an inch, just because I put this top lip on them. But I think the top lip is something I made these guys before for Mini War Gaming, but I like to improve everything that I do, so I put this nice concrete like slab lip on top, and then the stonework base on the bottom. These guys aren't removable. They're just solid guys, you know, basically line of sight blocking pieces of terrain there. And then if we work our way through this forest, working our way through the forest. I'll remove that yellow guy. And then we have another one of these ruins back here. It's got a couple ladders, a ladder working its way up the back there, a big explosion there. That tree got me. And then there's some signs here. There's something about report your mutations. Oh, we were just looking at black there. Sorry. There's the ladders and then a spare ladder there. We got some bullet holes going on. And then we have this piece. I was thinking that you could kind of like access that ladder and just game purposes if you wanted to, you know, you get in that door, I mean that window up there. I could have put it at a little bit better angle to reach the plastic card there, but I thought it looked cool when you look through this window there and you can see the ladder. Just changing stuff up. Like I did this little bump up in the floor tile there. I built so many of these ruins now. It's hard to make everyone exactly different, but I think I'm doing good enough. I don't think everyone has been the exact same. We got a broken staircase there going up. That one's a little bit more intact than the other one there. And then hiding back here, we have another ruin. Push that tree. Broken I-beam. And then we got some of these post-apocalyptic tree stands. These guys again are my resin cast walls, so they're just sitting in there. This is one of the ruined versions, solid version there. All these trees on these tree stands here are removable, but there's quite a bit of room. Stick your hand all the way through and get miniatures in there and out. You don't need a complete forest flat to represent the forest. You can have something decently open and be inside the forest. I understand how gamers play though. Everybody toes into the forest and there's all these little things, all these little nuances, but whatever. So they are removable. They're on little plugs. I'm thinking about coming up with something better. Working with some MDF, one of my MDF guys, about making the rings that you can remove. So that's an idea for the future. So that gives you a closer look at the set overall. If you are interested in picking up a set of custom terrain, you can email me at greenleafterrain@gmail.com. I've been telling people info@greenleafterrain.com, but I gotta make an email about that. Something's not working with the way my website works. So greenleafterrain@gmail.com, and I'll get the email instantly if you want to set up a custom terrain quote. Otherwise, thanks for watching. Please subscribe. I will have a full set of pictures of these guys up on my Facebook, and I'll link to that in the description. Other than that, enjoy the nice weather that's coming this way, and happy wargaming. Well, if you live in North America, I guess, or the Northern Hemisphere.